All right, good evening and welcome to the How Can I Support My Child Sorry series. We apologize for the 4 minutes delay. It was beyond our control. We had right at the point we're coming on, we had an issue that needed to be sorted. You are welcome to the weekly show. No, our daily show. We do this from Monday through Friday every week, and it is that show where we answer the questions that parents ask us about how they can parent more effectively and how they can support their children. Welcome to the show. Today, we are looking at yet another question. How do I maximize the time? How do I maximize time saving techniques to support my child's learning? We've been talking a lot about how we can support our children and how they learn, how we can support our children, how we can show up for our children in their learning. And today we are looking at, sorry, 1 second, please. Give me a second, please. Let me do a little housekeeping here. Give me a second, please. Sorry, I think I have a bit of a network issue. Just give me a second to sort it out. Yeah, 1 second, please. All right, thank you very much and welcome and for joining us. Thank you for joining us. As I said, today we're looking at how I can maximize time-saving technique to support my child's learning. That is what we are looking at today in this session. Sorry about that. A little housekeeping had to go on here. Are you with me? Have you joined me on the show right now? If you have, why don't you say something in the comment section? This show is actually meant to be interactive as possible. All right. So if while I'm talking, there is anything that hits you, while I'm talking, there is anything that comes to mind, please go ahead and ask your questions in the comment section, and I would answer your questions in the comment section. If you are joining us on Facebook, why don't you tag someone who needs to be here to be a part of the show? If you are on YouTube, why don't you share the link with another parent, a parent of a young person or parent of a preteen, so that they can be a part of the show. Parenting is not about show. It's not about answering the title of a parent. It is about understanding your role and doing everything within your power to be present and felt in your child's life. The key words there is present and felt in your child's life, because we can actually be present. We can be present, meaning I am a parent who works from home. I am a parent who is a full-time, present mom or a present dad. I'm a parent who is always, I get back from work as early as possible, all right? And I am there when the children get back from school. And yes, I am not felt. My presence is not felt, because even at those times that I am present, I am busy. And that busyness does not include the children. I could also be the parent that is even around the children. I'm cooking when they're around. I'm sitting down to do homework with them sometimes. And yet the children cannot feel me, because emotionally, I am not present. Emotionally, I am not connected to these children. All right. So being present is one thing, but being felt, your presence being felt by your child, is another thing. And these two things are very important in our relationship with our children. Time is an essential factor in every parenting dynamics. All right. So time is an essential factor in your parenting dynamics. So yes, we cannot overemphasize that we need to spend time with our children. Why is this? Because for children, time is the language of love. You cannot tell a child, you cannot show a child that you love them without spending time with that child. All right. You can't replace time with gifts. So many times we have parents who are not present, who are not available, and so they try to make up by ensuring that the children have all the presents that they can get. They ensure that the children have everything that they want. So these are the parents that the children will come back, and they say they want pizza, and they call their dad or call the mom that is not present, and voila, arrangement is made for pizza. The next day is this one. Arrangement is made for this one. You buy it, you drop it at home, and all of that. And somewhere at the back of our minds, we feel or we conclude that now our children love us, and now our children think that we love them. But the truth about it is the children are gradually beginning to see you as a representative of their needs. So basically, you only come up or you become significant when the children have certain needs. You only become significant when the children need to eat pizza and all of that. So I like the way someone said it at a conference, TIP conference. They said, I can't remember who it was. They said, you don't want to be an ATM in the child's life. So basically, it is only when you need money that you think of your ATM, right? It's only when you need money or you need to get, something that you think of your ATM. So you do not want to be the ATM in your child's life such that it is only when your children need to buy stuff, they need all of those things that you come. So when you try to replace your presence with present, that's what it becomes. You become like an ATM machine in the life of your child. So time is an essential factor in every parenting dynamics. And you know something? The value of time can multiply when we amplify the quality of time that we spend with our children. I'm going to take that again, dear parents. The value of time can be amplified when you actually it can multiply and be amplified when you come to your child or when you are present in a quality way. The content that you bring with you to that encounter with your child, the presence, the quality of the content that you bring to your meeting with your child can actually amplify time. All right, so let me say the way I wrote it here. I said the value of time is multiplied when we amplify the quality of the time that we spend with our children. So I dare say that it is not how long, but it is how well. And so this brings us to what we have been talking about in the last few days. I've been talking about how you can maximize the short time that you have and make it meaningful even for you who is a busy parent. Because we are not going to sit down here and pretend that some parents are not in that place where they still think that they are so busy, and because of how busy they are, they don't have time to do the things that they should do for their children. See, I am about your children. I am about especially the little ones. I'm about your young children, your toddlers, your preteens. I am about the quality of time. I'm about you being present in the life of the children. So why you are in that space, or why the average parent is in that space where the parent is still struggling, or the parent is still arguing about whether they should be making ends meet or why they should leave providing for the children just to be present. It's okay. I don't want to have that argument with you, dear father, dear mother. All right, let's not have that argument. We will all be all right. I am saying, do you have 30 minutes? That's all we're saying right now. Do you have 30 minutes, dear parents? Let's start with your 30 minutes. We can amplify that 30 minutes that you have. We can amplify that 30 minutes that you have, all right, when the quality of that time is amplified. We can multiply that time that you have. Your 30 minutes can be multiplied to make more sense when the value that you bring into that time, right, is substantial. When it amplifies the quality, it amplifies, the value of the time. So I want to teach you. I want to show you how you can amplify the little time that you have. All I have said, what I am saying is, can you give 30 minutes to your beloved, to your lovely, to the child that you say you love so much? Can you give 30 minutes to your 6-year-old? Can you give 30 minutes to your 10-year-old? Can you give 30 minutes to your 12-year-old? Can you give 30 minutes every day to your child? If you can give 30 minutes, then I want to help you turn those 30 minutes to magic time. I want to help you amplify those 30 minutes. I want to multiply those 30 minutes to be as if you are giving your children 3 hours. Yes, that's what I want to do. And that's why I want to invite you to a challenge that we are having. All right, the challenge, we're going to put up the flyer for the challenge tomorrow. Okay, it's a work with your children for 30 minutes every day challenge. Yes, we want to accelerate your child's learning, right, by having you support your child for 30 minutes every day. See, it will blow your mind what you will do to the child. I promise you. You will give this 30 minutes. Stay in there with us. It's only a 2-week challenge, okay? We're going to do this challenge for 24 days, all right? And while we're at ease, let's leave it at that. We're going to do this challenge for only 14 days. Did I say 24? Sorry. We're going to do this challenge for just 14 days. Stay in here with me for 14 days. Get into that challenge. No matter how busy you are, dear father, dear mother, get into that challenge. Mothers, you have your husbands that are really busy. I need you to convince them and encourage them to be a part of this challenge. For 14 days, we will give you the right activities. We will give you what it is that you need. We will create the strategy for you. We will create the techniques, okay, that will save the time. We will do all of that and we will give you all of this. And don't worry about it. You just need to go and relax. We will provide we will tell you what you need. All you need to do is show up for 30 minutes and execute. Show up for 30 minutes and execute. And I promise you, you will not believe the kind of progress you will make with your child in those 2 weeks. You will not believe the kind of learning your child would have achieved in those 2 weeks. You will not believe the transformation that your child would have in those 2 weeks. And you will not believe the kind of bonding that will happen between you and your child in those 30 minutes daily. All right, so get set. Tomorrow, when you see the flyer, jump in and be a part of that challenge. I want to invite you. I'm inviting you specially, no matter how busy you are as a parent, okay? So let's jump right in and look at how to make my children. So first thing you want to do, if you are a busy parent that cannot always be there, do not assume that your children understand. Do not assume that your children should understand. Do not wing it. Do not just say it doesn't matter. All right? The kind of attention we give our children, how we acknowledge that our children mean something, all right? How we acknowledge that we see our children, that what they think and what they feel is important. How we make our children feel like we owe them some bit of explanation makes them feel important. It's like you want to do something, right? And it involves your wife or your spouse, and you don't bring them into, understanding the why behind what you're doing. You make them feel neglected. You make them feel unloved, isn't it? So use the same principle for your children. All right. So if you are that parent that is not always present, or that parent that doesn't have enough time, that parent that probably leaves at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you get back at 8 o'clock or something like that, your children hardly would see you, all right? Or they see you for just about 30 minutes and all of that before they go to sleep. Now, do not just leave it like that. What you need to do is, first of all, if you are that kind of busy parent, leave a communication line open. Okay, leave a communication line open and be honest in your conversation with your children. Let them know the nature of what you do. All right, let them know the nature of what you do. Talk to them about it. Talk to them about the dynamics of your work and all of that. And in that conversation, I promise you, together, leave room for suggestions and leave room for solutions, right? Let them be a part of the solution as far how can we make time together, or how can we, how can we make the best of what we have? When you do this, your children feel like they are a part of your life and that they are important, and you are making time to explain to them and to create solutions together. Very key. Okay, leave that communication line open. Now, some of your children may not understand, or some of them may feel bad about this, especially if you're a parent who used to be present and all of a sudden you have to be away. You're a parent who used to be around and all of a sudden you have to live in another city and all of that. All right, whatever feelings that they have or whatever feelings they express, you do not want to wave it aside. You want to acknowledge their feelings. Acknowledge a child's feelings and feelings. Acknowledge the fact that, let them know that you understand how they feel. If I were in your shoes, sweetie, I would feel the same way. I would rather have daddy around. I'd rather have mommy around. Okay, whether it's you having that conversation with the child directly as the mother or father, or it's you having that conversation on behalf of your spouse. Make sure that you understand. You come from the child's perspective, understanding what it is that the child is going through, validating their feelings and all of that. And then after that, you want to make sure that you use practical examples and analogies to help the child understand the situation. So use practical examples, use stories, use analogies to explain the situation. Bring it home to the child in a way that the child can relate to it. All right, use that to explain to the child. Make all that effort. What you are doing is you are telling your child how important and how valid their fears, their concerns, their feelings are, and you are there to help them see all the reasons and all the whys behind this so that you can walk through that journey together. It's very important for parents who understand the place of a secure attachment, okay? Then the children having a secure attachment. All right. So when you have this conversation, you explain these things, the children understand these things. Now, the solutions that you create together or you come up with together become something that the children would appreciate, basically. And so you realize that your children will be a part of whatever solutions or whatever it is that the plan that you put in place to to make the best of your situation or your dynamics. And that way you can maximize the short time, you can maximize the time you have. These are all techniques that you can use, right, to still build that solid family and connection that you want with your children, even if time, you don't have all the time right now. And this could be why you are trying to look for a best, what's best for you as a family. It could be at a transition time or a time of transition where you are trying to, build something and it's for a short term. All right. So whatever it is, just make sure that you're carrying your children along. All right. Now, the next one is you want to set clear, expectations and clear, you want to be clear about your expectations and, the plans. You want to set clear plans and expectations and all of that. For instance, okay, for the time you are not going to be around, you want to create a system, for what something that will fill that time for your children or what you would expect your children to do during the time that you are not absent. All right. You want to have a plan that covers your presence and the time that you are absent. All right. So for the time that you are absent, make sure that you have expectations of the children. These are the things, and all of that. It could be a system where we talk every week for parents who are away, completely away. It's a system. It could be a system where we talk every day. It could be a system where we review. We have like a whole time that we actually do a video call and then we can review what it is that has happened throughout the week. Just have a system, right, that is defined, that sets clear expectations, right, of what you would expect of the child while you are away, or how you can, come back and be in sync, as a family. Just ensure that whatever dynamics you have as a family temporarily or whatever, you're dealing with as a family, ensure that you're carrying the children along. Everyone in the family is carried along and everyone is working through the system together and everyone is proffering solutions together. It's very critical. All right. The last one I'm going to be sharing is create special moments. All right. Create special moments. The times that you are around, create special moments for the times that you're around. Even while you're away, create special moments, create a tradition, right, that is special, that will make the children anticipate, they look forward to that time, they look forward to, the time that you'll be together, they look forward to the time that you would sit and have a conversation, even after, at the time where, even while you're away, right? So just create a system that will help you create special moments, all right, especially for the times that you are around or you visit. Now, this is particularly for parents who probably live in two different cities, all right? And then even for you who is busy throughout the week, you want to create special times during the weekends, all right? So whatever your dynamics is, or your dynamic is, whatever your dynamics are, you can create special moments out of it, all right? Just ensure that you are carrying your child along. Ensure that you are making the best of, the dynamics, and you do not allow whatever situation or dynamics that you are dealing with as a family temporarily, you don't allow it create distance between you and your children, all right? You want to maximize every little time that you have together, every little time that you have, even while you are apart, every little time that you can create, every opportunity that you can create, you want to maximize it. And as I said, you want to use the content that you have, right, to amplify. You want to use the content you have to multiply the value of the time that you spend together. All right. So the last part of this, I'm going to be sharing how you can support your child, all right? How you can support your child, or how you can support your child basically, and leveraging or using, time-saving techniques basically, as a busy parent. All right, number one, you want to incorporate learning daily in your system. All right, you want to incorporate a system where you are learning daily, and this is one of the principles, or one of the strategies, sorry, not principles, one of the strategy behind the challenge. All right, we're going to have you in that challenge, and we're going to have you do activities daily. All right, daily activities that will ensure that your children are learning in all of the dimensions of learning, not just learning academic. Your children are learning in different areas. So we are going to create activities for you. We're going to create events and activities, and all of that for you, that would ensure that your child is learning. All right, in those 30 minutes, for the challenge is going to be 45 minutes. In those 45 minutes, and that's because we will need time for you to set up, or time for you to put the things that you need for the challenge every day together, and then you maximize 30 minutes together. All right. So in the period of the challenge, we are going to ensure that, we're going to ensure that the children are learning every day. So incorporate in your system, in your home, a system where your children are learning every day. In those 30 minutes you have together, in those 30 minutes that you can give as a as a busy parent, ensure that those 30 minutes, there is learning that is going on in those 30 minutes. And as I said, learning, when I talk about learning, anytime you hear me talk about learning, I'm not just talking about your children's academics. I'm talking about every aspect of their child, of their lives. Your children could be learning, financial awareness in those 30 minutes on a particular day. The next time it could be deep insight on spiritual matters that you are talking, or that you are doing something about. The next time it could be you talking to them about career choices. It could be anything. It could be any area. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about. So that's number one. Number two, you want to leverage technology. All right. You want to leverage technology in, for you who is a busy parent. So I said, especially if you are that parent who is far away. We have some parents that come home once in a week, or once in a month, or once in 2 months, twice in a month. We cannot pretend that some people don't have these dynamics. These dynamics exist. So we want to cater even for you, that parent who isn't around every time. All right. So these are the ones that especially need to leverage technology. Even for you that you have your children around fully, you can leverage technology also to maximize your time. For instance, one of the ways ways you can leverage technology, even for parents who is at home, right, is you can have a system where you speak to your children on their way back from school. All right, you have a conversation with them like you are the one. You are unable to pick your children from school because of your dynamics. Some other person is picking them, but you have a system where you can have conversations on their way from school. All right, so that's you leveraging technology. You can have a system where as soon as they get home, you have a communication system where the child, where you call the child. You can have a landline in your home. You can have, a phone, a fixed phone at home, and then you leverage that technology. Or you can have some video kind of call between the two of you. All right, it could be your break time, and you just take 10 minutes out of your break time and have that conversation with the child. That's something you're leveraging technology. All right, you can have a system where the child records what it is that the child has done, or that you record what it is that you want the child to do when the child gets back from school, and then you have that somewhere in your home. You're leveraging technology. So there are different ways that we can leverage technology. But for you who is a busy parent, a parent who is away from home, you want to leverage technology in a secured way. All right, I'm not saying hand your children a phone and say, because I don't live in the same city, I want to be able to reach them. That's not an excuse. All right, you do not need to do that. Sorry about this, 1 second. Alrighty, sorry about this. All right, so that's it. So leverage technology. The next one is, of course, we can't overemphasize routines. Put routines in place that ensure, and in that routine, ensure that you have that special time. Have that special time. So put your special time into your routine. Put the 30 minutes that you have with the child daily into that routine. So what that does is it sets anticipation for your child. So you find out that your child is constantly looking forward to that time. The child is constantly looking forward to that time. And now it is your responsibility as a parent to ensure that you honor that time. Honoring that time helps the child trust you, help the child believe you. So it creates a bond between your child where your child can trust your word. It creates a bond between you and your child when your child can actually see that you're doing everything within your power to prioritize them. So it helps your child see that you're prioritizing them. It helps your child see that you have got time for them. It helps your child anticipate the time that you spend together. And anticipation actually creates bonding. Anticipation actually creates, it grows love, and all of that. That's why you see some people say, oh, okay, when the husband or the wife travels, when they come back, the love is hotter, and all of that, because it feels like, oh, when they were off, when they were away, you missed them, and all of that. So anticipation based, would actually create closer bond between you and your child. All right, very, very key. Number 4 is you want to create systems, right? You want to put your children in systems, yes, create opportunity for your children to be in systems where your children can develop themselves and your children can begin to have meaningful conversations that will help your children be children that you can reason with. All right, so why am I saying this? For instance, the children in the mastermind circle are peer mentorship and accountability group. Now, this group of children have real meaningful conversations. We're already pointing them to all kinds of, we're pointing them to emotional intelligence, pointing them to honoring their parents, and honor as a skill. We're pointing them to the children are learning and they are already developing themselves. So what it does is you are raising children who are mindful, children who are self-aware, children who are emotionally intelligent. You're raising children, most especially, who are self-aware and mindful. Now, when you're raising this kind of children, of course, you're setting them apart and you are you're raising them to operate on a higher thinking level. Now, when you have this kind of children, it's very easy for you to relate and to reason with your children when your children are getting this kind of training. Now, you're also putting a support system in place for your children, where your children can have the support of mentors, right? So the mentors do not replace you, but then the mentors are also present in their lives. So there are certain things that you are missing, and then that gap can be filled by trusted mentors, or that gap can be held forth by trusted mentors. And this way you can work in partnership with the mentor. The mentor understands your dynamic, and then the mentor holds forth so that it's easy. You are in sync. It becomes a tripod relationship where you, the mentor, and the child have a common vision. So it's easy for you to achieve that vision. It's easy for you to achieve what it is you want to achieve with your children when you have a trusted system and mentors who can work with you to achieve this. So that's why you should get your children. Do you have children who are 6 years and between 6 and 14 years old? We graduate the children in the mastermind when they become 14. Okay, but your 13-year-old can be with us the entire year until they become 14, where we send them off from the mastermind circle after that cohort that they turn 14. All right, when you do this, you are putting your children in a system. The mastermind circle is a transformational ground. Okay, we're not even hyping it. It is such a transformational ground that every child who is in every partner in the mastermind circle is on a journey that the child, even at 6 and 7, when they come in at 6, by the time they are turning 7, the child is already recognizing that he is on a journey, and that journey is important, and that he is the most important person in his journey. You need to do that for your child. Every child needs to belong to a community. Every child needs to belong to a system that points the child to see themselves as an autonomy, basically, and helps the child to start seeing themselves as the most important driving force in their own life. Now, when you do this with you alone at home, the lines are really very thin. All right. And so there is still all that, mommy, daddiness, in your relationship and in your dynamics. But the moment you put your child in a system, the message you are sending to the child is that you have a life to live, and you need to start living that life positively, and you need to start developing yourself. So there's nothing that sends that message early to your child than putting your child in an accountability system where the child is held accountable by a system. So it makes the child recognize more when you hold them accountable. Now they know that they are being held accountable, not just by you, but by their mentors. Sometimes our children do not understand accountability until they come into a system. They come into the mastermind system. When they come into the mastermind system, they begin to understand that they are going to be held responsible for the plans that they have made, the goals that they have set, and all of that. And that's what we do. We get them to set goals, and we get them to create plans for those goals, and we get them to achieve those goals. All right. So get your children into the mastermind circle. It's not just giving them a community, a tribe that they can be proud of, a tribe where they begin to feel like, that they begin to feel like it's another home for them. They build camaraderie in that tribe. The mastermind circle is a close-knit, tribe where the children bond with each other, and they build a small social circle right there. All right. We even got to the point where they even have people who support them within the system. So you want to get your children into that system. Let them begin to build, that awareness of self, and become mindful, understand that they can be a support for another person, and they allow themselves to be supported. Apart from that, you get them into the system where they begin to talk meaningful things. A lot of times the school does not offer this to our children because there are people from too many different family dynamics and family backgrounds, and all of that. So in the school system, there's nowhere you find people with varying backgrounds and all of that, like in the school system. So you can be there saying, oh, my children cannot have a phone, my children cannot go online, my children cannot do this. In their school, 98% of the people in their school all have phones and do all of these things that you say your children should not do. So what happens is your child is put under pressure in school. But when you put them in a system like the mastermind circle helps the child accept, your dynamics, and accept that, they don't feel different. Now they see other children who are like them. They see other children who, have similar values as they do. They see other children whose parents, think like their parents think. And then all of a sudden, your children now see and they recognize that, oh, there are people who are like me. And so they are not under pressure in the circle. And so they build their stamina in the circle. They build their confidence in the circle. And they can go to school and go to all of that circular places where they belong, and they wear their confidence fully because they know, oh, I have great minds that are like me. So I am not the problem. It is these people who are the problem. All right. So these are some of the reasons why you want to get your children in the mastermind circle. All right. So, and sure, the last one I'm going to be sharing today is combine your family time with learning. All right. Combine your family time with learning. All right. So the time that, for instance, in my home, we have dinner. All right. We have dinner with Bible study. All right. So we have dinner with Bible study. We actually do three things, right? We do, while we're having dinner, like right now, the children are all set and ready for dinner. As soon as I finish this class it's already past 7:30. So 7:40. So I'm 10 minutes late. So as soon as I'm done with this class, I'm going to join them. We're going to have dinner. While we're at dinner, we'll talk about what school was like today, blah, 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 and all of that. And then while we're waiting for food to digest, we do immediately after talking about school, the children fill in their journal. And I also fill in my journal for the day. We journal for the day, pack up our journals, go in 5 minutes, wash off and clear off, and all of that. And then we come in straight and we have Bible studies. All right. We have Bible studies between 7:50 thereabout and 8, 10, 20, and all of that. And then if we have some time, we still read a shared book that we're reading. We have a book that we're sharing at every point during the week. So we read that book together. All right. We read a chapter of the book, a part of the book together, have a bit of conversation. And by 8:30, 8:40, we are done. And everyone is gone off to their room and go and have a short pillow time, with them, and they are off to sleep. And at 9 o'clock, I'm done, and I can actually be in my bed also ready, to wind down for the day. All right. So you can have all of this. Now, in your family system, see how you have incorporated learning right there in your family time. All right. So that is it. I'm going to stop here for today. I hope even for you, the busy parents, you have picked one thing or two from this session that you're going to take and apply in your parenting. But more than this, get ready and join the challenge. Okay, join the 2 weeks challenge that we're going to, start, before in October. Join that challenge, and I promise you will be glad you did. If you like your child to join us in the mastermind circle also, all right, the mastermind circle will transform your child. You have the information on your screen right now. You can use that to reach us and enroll your child for the mastermind circle. We have some slots left, but we will soon close registration because we have started the cohorts already. All right. But we know that we can still take in the children, and we will stop at a point where we get to, and we know that if the children don't jump in, they will start missing. All right. So for now, they can still jump in. So take this opportunity and bring your children to the mastermind circle. If your child is not in the mastermind circle, your child is missing. That's what I would tell you. Your child is missing, especially for your young children. It's a foundation ground. See, I know the mastermind, it should be a starting point for your child. It's such a foundation ground. We grind the child in the mastermind such that when the children leave and go to, bigger teenager programs, they fly because they've been grounded in the mastermind circle. Thank you very much for joining us today. And I'll see you again in another episode tomorrow in the How Can I Support My Child series. Thank you and have a fantastic rest of the evening. Bye. All right, you have the information. You also have it in the comment section and in the description on YouTube to join the Mastermind Circle. Thank you again. Bye.